I appreciate you all coming along on this ride with me. So I got up this morning and decided to head down to Perry, Georgia for a little sporting event for one of my teams. I work for this, well, you don't know, but I actually work for a school system, and part of one of our teams is actually having a game today, and actually it is our adaptive sports wheelchair team. So in my day-to-day functions, I deal with special education, and within that program, we actually have a sports team that competes in the state games, Georgia High School games. We're part of the GHSA, Georgia High School Sports Association. And actually what we do is we compete in handball, basketball, and football, but using wheelchairs. So there's some modifications, some things that are done a bit differently. But anyway, I'm headed down to support my team. So where I'm at now, I decided I need to go and stop and get some gas before I go ahead and get rolling. But had to take advantage of the day and just enjoy this beautiful weather. The temperature was about between 70 and 80 at various points throughout the day, throughout my ride. As you can see, I had my jacket on, and I was rocking with my jacket, and it actually felt really, really good. Now I know I have the smaller windshield on my bike, but that smaller windshield works for me. I know that a larger windshield, 12-inch, or whatever you may have, would probably protect wind a little bit differently. But that short windshield right there actually does well with me, and I have no complaints with it. I use it, and I like the way it looks on the bike in particular. There are a few things that I actually want to share with you. As I was riding, I had the opportunity to think a lot. I don't have anything scripted or anything written down. You see that truck I just passed? That was a hazard. That was number one hazard that I passed. The first hazard that I passed on my way down to Perry, Georgia. The truck was loaded with all kind of items. Comment below and let me know how you handle that situation when you see a vehicle ahead of you that is loaded with different type of materials like ladders, sofas, and things of that nature. I know with me personally, I'm up and I'm out of the way because I don't trust anything that anyone loads on the back of their vehicle, truck, car, van, I don't care what it is. If you have something extra that's loaded on the outside of it, I do my very best to go ahead and get from around that situation, because the last thing you need when you're on a bike is for something falling off of a moving vehicle and then messing you up. I think I saw a video the other day where I think a gentleman was very fortunate that the only thing he did was bust his rim and front tire, after something had fallen off of a truck. So be careful with those hazards. But anyway, like I was saying, my feelings, my thoughts, I can't express to you all enough how much of a joy and how much of I'll go ahead and say a blessing that this bike is to me. And the reason why I use such strong words with this particular bike is because it gives me the opportunity to get out and ride and think and just kind of be free. And it feels good, it looks good, and I just have zero complaints. I think when I think about this bike, I kind of say money well spent, because this is what I love to do, I like to do. I never encourage anybody to go out and buy a bike or ride a bike. I will tell you my thoughts and feelings if someone asks about it, but I don't go out and try to put it off on other people to do the same thing that I do. It works for me, it may not work for you. But I will tell you, if you're watching this video and you're thinking about it, the only thing I can say is you only live once. You need to live life with no regrets. The last thing you want to do is, in my opinion, is to be on your sick bed or just in a state where you can't do the things that you wish you had done earlier in your life. So I refuse to be one of those type of people. So, anything I want to do, I go ahead and do it. I just go ahead and partake upon it, as long as it's safe, healthy, and legit. I'm not hurting anybody. I do me. to each his own. So that's my feelings overall on the bike. It's a joy. I had no problem. Right here, I'm on the interstate, and I'm just kind of cutting up a little bit on the interstate, just trying to get to South Georgia. I did run into traffic on 75 South around Henry County, but I was kind of expecting that. You always run into traffic around 75 South in that Henry County area, so I wasn't surprised. It was just a little frustrating, but hey, I'm on a bike, so that soothes you out in itself, and you're able to just get through it, safely. So you gotta be safe though. You gotta be safe. You gotta watch those other drivers because they're not watching for you. I can say that, but a lot of times I see it, I can feel it when a situation is getting ready to occur. Whether someone's making a left-hand turn in front of you, or whatever the case may be. So many distractions out there. So that's my feelings about the bike. That's how I feel personally. Personally, it works for me. Personally, it is my personal therapist, my bike is. So I'll be back with another thought in just a moment. The bike overall, the things I've done to the bike, I've done the windshield, I've changed the floorboards out, the hand grills, the mirrors. I kind of stuck with the Empire collection on the bike. So I have some videos on some of that stuff. I put the tip bars on there, front and rear. What else I've done too? Of course, you see my phone mount is on there. My levers on my bags, I switched those out. They came originally chrome. I switched them out to black. Also, I put in, let's see what else. There's a lot more things I've done to it. The heat guard, the shield guard. So for everything that I've done thus far, probably the best thing has been the backrest. The backrest has been a blessing. I'm thinking about getting a new seat. I kind of like the stock seat. I like the way that the look. I like the look of the stock seat, and I like the Saddlemen seats. I'm not necessarily thrilled about the looks of the Saddlemen seats. Some of them look big and bulky, and I think the stock seat is a little bit more sleek. Now I know the Saddlemen seat is probably just a whole lot more comfortable than the stock seat, but I don't know. I think I'm still gonna order a Saddlemen eventually. The very next thing I'm gonna do to the bike, I believe, before I start getting into engine work at some point. I'm not really in a rush to get engine work because the bike is powerful enough for me itself. The 117 motor, it pumps out a lot for me. I'm able to maneuver and I'm able to get the speed I like with it. I know you can get more out of it by camming the bike out and all that kind of stuff, and putting a bigger breather on it and all that kind of stuff. So I eventually get to some of that stuff, but right now I'm pleased with the power. The first thing I want to do, which I plan to do over the winter months, is the radio system. I want to go to stage 2, Rockford Fosgate stereo system. So I'm going to switch all of that out. Besides, the covers also, more aesthetically pleasing and look better. So, and as well as better sound quality. It requires an amp, the 500 watt amp. It requires the 2 speakers. So approximately looking at a little over $1,000 just in those 2 parts by itself. And then if you go to the dealership, they're going to charge another $300 to $400 to put it in. Now, I think that's a job that I can handle myself. But I think the dealership has to do a piece of it. If you do it yourself, I think the dealer has to do something to it. I'm not quite sure about that because I've seen some guys work around that without having to take it to the dealership. So I will explore that a little bit more. But I'm thinking I'm going to install myself. So looking forward to that. The bike just glides so effortlessly, man. I tell you, speed. Before you know it, you're doing 90, 95. The bike is just so effortlessly to ride. It's ridiculous. It's comfortable. It's smooth. It feels good. So you see my speeds, right? I maintain around 78 to 80. I was just cruising. I wasn't in no rush. It was Saturday. November. It was November 2nd. November 2nd. So, hey, I was just enjoying the day. So, there's no need. I find myself sometimes rushing, and I say to myself, rushing for what? Why are you rushing time? Sometimes you got to just, learn to relax, enjoy the moment. Everything is not a rush. I don't need to do 85, 90 miles per hour all the time just to be doing it. But I did hit it a couple of times, just kind of getting around traffic, getting through traffic. But overall, I was just cruising. There's one part of my trip that I did not get recorded. I didn't have my camera set up, but this McLaren was by me for a good 25, 30 miles, and I speed up, he would speed up. I slow down, he would slow down. It was kind of pretty cool, actually. And there was also, I felt like there was some protection he was giving me. I felt like he was admiring the bike a little bit. I definitely was admiring his car. It was gray with tinted out. One of the new McLarens. It was pretty sharp. I wish I had my camera mounted at that time, but it was pretty cool experience. We kind of just cruised on back. If I got on it a little bit, he got on it, and I know he could have blown me out the water easily. But that was a cool experience. Just wish I could have gotten it. The funny thing is, when you're riding, like I just talked about that McLaren a little while ago, you can always tell those bike-friendly vehicles that's around you versus the non. I try not to stick around any of them, but it's interesting sometimes when you feel like when someone gives you the nod or give you the thumbs up or something like that, and you see that sometimes they kind of try to keep traffic away from you from riding up on you. So, that's kind of cool. And, tell me your experiences with that. Am I tripping, or is that really happening? That's why I feel. But anyway, right here, this part of my trip, I'm close to the school, close to Perry High School in South Georgia. And I'm getting ready to pull into that parking lot. So, let's see, where am I? Yep, I'm getting ready to make that left-hand turn. We had two games this particular day. We won the first game and made it to the championship and lost in the championship game. So I'm making that left-hand turn. It's been about 3 months since I've had this bike, and I'm gonna tell you, every time I ride it, I feel like I'm getting better and better and better. And one of the things that I do, and I make a conscious effort to do, is practice my turns and practice at low speed. Practice. And where I'm at now versus where I was before is night and day. And I'm only going to get better and better and better. I know I'm a good rider. I'm that confident to be able to say to you all right now, I know I'm a good rider. I handle my bike. Point blank, period. And that's not bragging, it's just confidence that I'm owning my bike. I'm owning my riding ability. When I make a mistake, I own up to it. I take accountability for it. I chastise myself, have a conversation with myself, and then I correct that behavior. So I try to practice good techniques and good strategies and things of that nature. But let me get in this game and see what's going on. Right here. At this point, I'm actually headed back home, headed back to D-Ville, Douglasville. As you can see, I don't have my jacket on now. That was a big mistake. I'm paying for it right now as I'm editing this video with nasal congestion and things of that nature. I should have, although it was warm, don't think it was quite warm enough for me been riding out there gliding and sliding without a jacket on. So I won't make that mistake no more. I had my jacket right there with me. It was in my bag, so my saddle bag. So this time of the year, I think you need to be riding with your jacket. That cold air on my chest right there, I'm paying for it right now. So, but anyway, yeah, I was trying to get back. But like I said, I'm not in a rush. I'm enjoying the day. You know, both of my kids are out of the house. Wife who has something else to do. So what am I rushing for? The football games, you know, I catch some of those in the evening time. I don't, you know, right now the point where I'm at in my life is the motorcycles they take precedence over the football games. But anyway, I decided to take all back roads back home. So that's what I did. From South Georgia to back to Douglasville, nothing but back roads. All the way back through Barnesville, well, it's that Forsyth, Thomaston, Barnesville, Griffin, Fayette County, Fairburn, Palmetto, back into Douglasville. So I hit them all, just back roads and just enjoying the ride. So I filled up before, I was on E before I left, so I had to fill up. So I filled up one more time on the way back, and I was good to go. So yeah, it was just straight enjoyable. It was a good ride. So no complaints.
take my eye off you. Can't take my eye off you. You got, don't got nothing on you. Don't got nothing on you. My heart is ready for something I haven't had in a long time. True love crime, I hope you know that it may hurt for a while. Let's slow down, slow down. I can see behind that broken smile. Eyes sweet, smooth, like go gray, go gray. And eyes sweet, smooth, like go gray, go gray. Driving dick with a movie, right by side on duty. Not too much, not too sweet. Ooh, passion from your truly. Let me know how you feel. Hope I'm not in too deep. We walk, Phoebe. We die, forever. Won't be alone forever. Get through the storm together.